And when we talk about the younger generations, who many have turned away from mail, there are still lots of people who rely on the postal system. And one of those groups is, of course, seniors. Now, we are going to reach out now to Laura Tamblyn Watts. She is the founder and CEO of CanAge, a national seniors advocacy organization. We reached her actually in the Dominican Republic today. Thanks very much for taking the time.
Thank you. We're really worried about the effect that the strike is going to have on seniors. While pension checks and other government pensions like CPP and OAS and GIS will still come through, seniors overwhelmingly are the ones who rely most on Canada Post.
Yeah, can you just talk about specifically the concerns that you have? As you say, government benefit checks, old age security, those things are still not affected by this. But what will be affected here?
Just about everything else. So think about the many ways that you get notifications of your bills. Older people still overwhelmingly get their bills by mail. They may pay it electronically, or they may write a check and usually use that as a prompt to send it out. And so all of those bill payments, of course, are going to be problematic. And all of the banks and credit card companies have said that there will be no leeway given. It's really hard to remember everything that comes in and out. What that leads, of course, to for the about 1 million Canadian seniors who don't use the internet is reliance on other people. And that means giving away your private financial information to someone else.
So, we're hearing about companies that are urging people to set up online billing accounts, direct deposits, things like that, so that they can make these payments without delay. How difficult and how likely is it that seniors will make that move?
We have about 1 million or just over 1 million Canadian seniors who do not use the internet either at all or very often. And that's especially true for people in rural communities. 65% of people in rural communities are seniors, and they often have problems with transportation to get to the next town. Often banks are closed or they have not been even made available unless you go a long way away. And that's not even taking into account the fact that many rural seniors get their prescriptions by mail and other healthcare appointments as well. So this is not going to be easy. If you've got to rely on somebody else to help you with your financial information or your health information, that puts you in a very vulnerable position.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's only been a little over a day since this strike has been put in place. But what have you been hearing from seniors about some of the struggles that they're experiencing or are worried that they might be experiencing if this goes on for any length of time?
I think that any length of time is really important. A day or two is not going to be particularly problematic. A week or two or a month or two, on the other hand, will have a devastating effect on Canadian seniors. And it's not just for the financial bill paying, which is really important, but there's other things that Canada Post does too that people perhaps don't always think about. Again, there's health information that comes, prescription services, but also packages that go to rural communities. Again, older people are often in rural communities and they may not be able to drive. And that means even if a private carrier will take it partway, for rural seniors, they can't get the rest of the way because Canada Post usually picks that up. The other piece that we often don't think about is for many older people, that connection at the front door or even at the local community mailbox, maybe their only wellness check. Mail carriers are often very closely connected with checking in on how seniors are doing and have got a great program for that. That means there's going to be a lot of Canadian seniors that don't have anyone to talk to, even on a daily basis.
And as I say, seniors still rely a lot on the postal system, but situations like this do maybe open a gateway to embracing new technology. Is there a silver lining here that we might see more seniors kind of going into this next frontier and starting to use this technology and reaching out to people who might be able to help them with it? I mean, seniors are becoming quite tech savvy in this day and age.
And we certainly saw that during the pandemic. There was a big leap in internet usage of people over the age of 80. And that is important to remember. We're not usually talking about people 60 or 70. It's usually people who are over 80, often who have higher healthcare needs and have transportation barriers, who will be affected the most. So this is my plea to reach out. If you have someone in your life or even someone down the street that you think might be disconnected who relies on Canada Post, reaching out, knocking on the door and saying hello, or even asking if you could help get things like prescriptions for them might really make the difference.
That's great advice. Good reminder if this does continue for a number of days or weeks. We appreciate you telling us this today and sharing the experience of so many in our country as we deal with this labour stoppage.
Thank you.
Laura Tamblyn Watts, founder and CEO of CanAge.